the kind of the proper way to try and respond from that mentally, physically, and all of it?
Well, obviously, we got to do a better job of controlling the controllables, and I don't think we did a good enough job after the first quarter. Once they blitzed us in that second quarter, 38-20. But giving up 21 threes, giving up 20-plus fast break points, second chance points, those are some of the things that we can control. Obviously the three-point shooting, we know they have a lot of lasers, they have a lot of guys that can shoot from the perimeter. So we got to do a better job of closing the bodies and getting out on shooters. So, we'll get back in the film room tomorrow, look at the things that we did well, some of the things that we didn't do so well, and continue the game plan for game 2. We have a couple of days to prepare for it.
LeBron, both AR and JJ mentioned that they felt like one of the factors tonight was the physicality being something that maybe caught you guys early on in the game. Were there any things that you saw that gave you belief that you figured out how to counter that as the game went on that you can take into game 2?
Well, definitely. No, when you play in a Minnesota team, they're going to be physical. That's what they bring to the table. Maybe it took us one playoff game to now get a feel for it and know what the type of intensity, the type of physicality that's going to be brought to the game, but that's just the way they play. So we should be more than prepared for that on Tuesday night.
LeBron, obviously you guys are going to meet game 2 with a sense of urgency, but what's sort of the right approach to a game 2 when you're down 0-1 in terms of still being calm and understanding kind of the big picture of things while also knowing that it's obviously an incredibly important game?
No, we understand that. They took home court from us tonight, as far as the series, but we have an opportunity to even the series out on Tuesday, and we have to play a much better game than we did today. Like I said, we have to control the controllables, and if we do that, we're going to give ourselves a much better chance to win than we did tonight.
You mentioned one of the first answers there, the Timberwolves 20-plus fast break points is a key factor. How much of that did you see as a result of just you guys missing shots close to the rim or near the rim and them running out just from there?
No, we did a great job later on. Throughout the whole season, we did a great job of not allowing teams to get, fast break point after fast break point after fast break point. Like I said, those guys are 10 for 15 and 25 points on the fast break. We already know offensively how dangerous they are. So when you're giving teams an opportunity to get those easy points, it's going to be hard to make that up. We only had 6 ourselves, so that we got outscored by 19 in that race. So, those are things that we control by getting back, setting our defense, making them score against our half-court defense.
LeBron, you guys closed the third on a 17-6 run and then carried that over into the first few minutes of the fourth. What did you see during that stretch of like 6-7 minutes that you feel like you could take into game 2?
We met the intensity, what they were bringing to the table. We met the physicality with physicality and started to get up into them. Allowed us to get some turnovers, allowed us to get some extra possessions, and they allowed us to get back into the game. So, like I said, sometimes it takes a quarter, 2 quarters, a full game to get used to playoff basketball once again. So it shouldn't be no surprise on Tuesday.
LeBron, to your right, when you talk about controlling the controllables in the second and third quarter, what comes to mind at those times?
Offensive rebounds, giving up open shots to lasers, not being in the right position. So it was a lot of factors that allowed them to build that big lead up to 27.
LeBron, Minnesota was able to kind of penetrate, driving kick, they converted a lot of those corner threes and things of that nature. How much of that was just a team getting hot and hitting their shots, and how much of that is part of the controllables and things that you can prevent?
We're going to look at the film and break it down. There were some that was just great plays by them. We're all NBA players. We know how to make plays. Some of the things we could have control, but we watch the film and see ways we could be better with our rotations going into game 2.
LeBron, the Timberwolves scored 18 points off turnovers compared just to 9 by the Lakers. How do you think the team can do a better job managing that in the upcoming games?
Well, obviously, taking care of the ball versus a team like this is very important. But anytime you're in the postseason, you got to take care of the ball, and if you turn the ball over, you got to try your best to get back. in transition and not allow them to get points. Like you said, they had 18 points off our 13 turnovers, and we only had 9 off their 10. So we got to do a much better job of trying to turn them over, and at the same time do a better job of protecting the ball, and not having as many turnovers for us.